Yo, what's poppin', friends? We are getting back into the Rogue Storm issue number 2. So I need all my ninjas to assemble as we kick this story off with the mutant goddess is seen at a campsite looking down at the Elysium alloy she gave Rogue Red, which leads me to believe this is a flashback. Also, she is swallowing the orb that she had Egun in, which again is the Jujutsu Kaisen reference. So while our girl is snacking on her food, that is when we see Egun appear in front of her saying, "Hello, Aurora." Now, our girl isn't too happy to see Egun now, and it shows in a response to him with her saying, "It's been 5 years, Egun. 5 years I've scorned the earth in search of you, and for 5 years you've evaded me. Now you choose this moment to come for me. Why?" Fame last words of every livestock that's ever seen the farmer's knives coming. Why? What do you think your last words will be when I bury my axe in you? This is not the time or place to exchange final words, descendant of Ashaki. This dance is ours. Our bones may be weary, but the music has not yet stopped. The drums of torment beat still. I have a few moves left in my repertoire. Storm attacks, slicing through Egun like butter, but the entity just laughs at her. Then he says, "Someone's coming, Aurora. Someone's coming to get you. You are not the real. There is a creature that attacks Storm." He says, "If I am not real, why don't you wake up? Someone's coming, Aurora. Someone's coming to get you." I knew it. I knew I should have asked someone else for help, but my brother's last wish was for me to work with you. You probably think the Crimson Band of Sidorak is heavy metal band, don't you? This is Daniel Drum who was speaking. Just to let y'all know, that was Daniel. And he's telling Storm, "You're going to die here, Storm, and they'll sell me to a bearded wizard torture dump. I just know it." But Storm replies, "You're alerting the enemy to our whereabouts, Daniel. I would advise that you keep your opinions about me to yourself, or I will personally take you to the dungeon you so dread." Daniel has pissed Storm off, as we can see, so he better watch his mouth in front of the goddess, because she means what she says. And that's when we see a person on a motorcycle. He shreds the motorcycle. Storm starts listening to the noise at hand with her eyes closed, saying, "There you are." Then shoots the arrow at the stranger. The stranger throws charged cars throw, and it says, "Fly, fly, fly." It collides with Storm arrow with the stranger says, "Storm," with Storm responding, "Gambit." As they stand there looking at each other, Storm looks to say an enchantment Agabar of soup, which makes her go into hunter madness mode. The Storm Gambino don't shoot without checking first. She certainly don't power up, bracing for a fight at the mere sight of her own friend, Gambit says. But Storm responds with a rebuttal saying, "I'm sorry, brother. The Storm you knew hadn't seen the betrayals that I've seen." Gambit responds, "Gambit don't see much of anything these days, but I hear a lot of things, and one got my ears ringing since I started looking for you, Mon Ami. You like family. Gambit had you know that. But only that is not going to stop me if I hear has a lick of truth to it. According to Lee Boniface Dudois." Good God, they got some of these French names. "Aurora, what you do to Rogue Red?" That's when we switch scenes to X-Force, with Rogue Red saying, "Load 'em up, one final push, and the world will at last know peace. One final push, and the climate catalysm will come to an end. One final push, and we will kill a god," Akujin says. They made it to their destination with Rogue Red saying, "Aim fire." It shoots a massive beam that obliterates the ice, which personally I think is crazy. But when the dust settles, you see the goddess chained up exhaling. Iceman comments saying, "You didn't really think killing Storm was going to be easy, did you, Red?" Warpath asks the question, "What is the play?" As you can see, Fetomex is out here drinking his life away. We know he's nervous about fighting the goddess, because he told Gateway if things get tough, he's getting out of there. He did tell Gateway that, but Gateway's gone. We also have Akujin looking sus right now. Was with that sad look right now. Fetomex says that this is for his homies. Pour his drink on the bubble, which immediately freezes. Fetomex asks Warpath for his vibranium knife, which Warpath gives him. Fetomex says that the dome is made of ice cold enough to freeze whiskey into slush by the touch. But the air pressure within the dome is channeled in such a way that it ice finishes his statement, enhances the durability of the ice dome. Fetomex finished the rest like a super massive Prince Rupert's, but is more durable than vibranium. Fetomex signs, but Rogue Red says stop. Rogue Red then asks, Bobby, can you melt the ice? Iceman says, I'm the best at taking heat out of the system, but putting energy in the system, I wouldn't want to tussle with Storm at that. If I try to melt the ice while Storm powers are keeping it frozen, it'll be like a tug of war between two of the strongest weightlifters, both pulling with their weakest muscle, competing at what we're both worse at. We'll be here for months. Rogue Red says, any which way grunts Enesium is better suited for the job. I'll break the ice. Fetomex drinking his whiskey says, suit yourself, but busting up your hand won't get you out of paying me. Rogue Red responds, can a snail outrun its own shell? And Fetomex responds with a laugh. Rogue Red hits the ice, breaking it just a bit. Then she said, all that pressure, your inside will be mush once I break open the ice. I'm glad it's me that gets to do this. I love you, Aurora. She smashes the ice with Storm saying, leave or die, while grabbing Rogue Red's throat. That is when Akujin cuts off Fentomex's head. Clean off. She also cuts up Warpath and Iceman. Akujin betrayal sinks deeper than a knife to the back. Despite the slaughter of the uncanny X-Force reaches Rogue Red, their screams, the warm blood, the crunch of bone and ice, hate sees from the trenches of her being. Rogue Red summons her rarely used mutant ability, an ability that strips away its victims' power and make them hers. But that is what Rogue Red Betrayer wanted. You should have listened to Storm Engine. Akujin says she stabbed Rogue Red through the stomach. With Storm's power stripped away, the ancient demon imprisoned within her body to protect humanity claws its way out, eager to wreak havoc on the world. There is an evil laugh that everyone can hear. You can also see all the dead bodies, with Iceman most likely trapped more than dead because he's an Omega level mutant. You also have Egun deeply feeling gratitude towards Rogue Red. By the reason of your bravery and heroism, the Storm Goddess and I will get to continue this dance for a very, very long time, Egun says. Now tell me, do you think splaying your body across this wasteland will get your friends the most riled up, or will she need your remains to be a little bit recognizable, Egun says. Storm says, you are a friend turned brother, Remy. That is why I tolerate this exchange. I have never judged for Rogue Red heartbreak because we are who we are and the heart wants what the heart wants. You love Rogue Green and you chose Rogue Green. Everyone should have the freedom to choose whomever they want to spend the rest of their life with. But do not come to me like a chivalrous knight demanding the whereabouts of your fair maiden as though you did not abandon her without care for what became of her. That's when Gambit responds to Storm with, don't. And Storm is like, don't? Which Gambit says, yeah, don't. Don't be acting like this tongue lashing would be coming my way even if Gambit chose differently. How much of you think Rogue's heart going to break if she thinks I have feelings for another female? How he couldn't even finish the statement when an energy beam shoots at them. Boom! The explosion was intense, but we hear Aurora, descendant of Ashaki, the fishman of Osun, which is actually Ocean, told me that you were in desperate search of me. I'm sorry it took this long to get back to you, sweet child. I've been hard at work, making sure none of this world mystic will interrupt our little story. Voodoo, Doom, Scarlet Witch, Stefan, and Clea Strange, Agatha Harkness, Damian Helsar. Like, I butchered and ate them all. So will I cut you open and devour you, Aurora Monroe? I will defile your planet to spite the memory of you. Whisper your name into the ears of every man, woman, and child that I slaughter. But before the fun begins, this is it, storm goddess of earth, all I can muster. All my mighty wickedness against your valor. Now is the time for last words. That, my friends, is how the chapter ends. We'll be getting ready for more storm as we continue our journey covering the mutant storm goddess of earth together, because they're just doing great things with her. But I have a serious question for you. Why do you like Gambit? Everybody enjoys Gambit, and I'm really curious on why. So just let me know in the comment section, what's your reasoning for being a fan of Gambit? And I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.